Eliana, it's getting close to the end of the summer, but I wanted to see what your plans were for seeing everyone. You're still planning to come back home, right? It's been so long, and everyone here wants to make sure we can at least have all the family together for a weekend. And to make sure we have a really good time, we can even take everyone out to that really fancy Italian restaurant you like.
It is getting close to the end of summer, isn't it? Seems that my husband's folks are also getting together soon and want to do a barbecue or something while all the cousins and such come over. I still have no idea what days they're planning on holding the barbecue and such, so could you hold on for a bit?
I see. Well, if you decide that you'll have time to come back to our place, just let me know. We like to be able to get you and your husband's room all cleaned up so you can stay here and not have to find a hotel.
Thank you, Leah. That means a lot.
I've noticed that ever since you married, you haven't been home to Mom and Dad's place. They are getting pretty lonely without you, you know? And I feel that same way. I haven't seen you at all since your wedding. I mean, we can see that you haven't even been posting as much anymore on your social media, which you used to always keep up on.
I'm sorry, Leah. Before I knew it, it seemed that my husband's family became the priority for me. And we had all sorts of things that kept us busy right after we got married, so I never had time to be on my phone like I used to.
But what about your guys' honeymoon? I would have thought you'd post something from that trip you guys took, yet there was nothing.
Well, we just got carried away with his mom and dad, so we never actually went on our honeymoon after the wedding. His family just means a lot to me, so I have to be around them a lot. But don't worry, deep down, I've still been thinking about and wanting to see you all.
Well, that's good to hear, I guess. And I hope you start finding time again to have your own time soon.
Are you all doing okay?
We sure are. Dad's been thinking about retiring next year, and so we've been helping him work all of that out. And Mom is getting ready to go on a trip with some of her friends and her sister to the Grand Canyon since none of them have seen it before. Of course, they're also planning to go to Las Vegas for a night or two to gamble some more. Anyway, how about you? Are you getting used to living with your husband and his family?
I'm starting to get used to it, but I feel like I've messed up. Having to live with his parents is getting pretty tough for me at times, since I haven't actually known them that long. That's why I've been so busy with them here. I also feel a little jealous knowing that you get to stay with Mom and Dad.
That does seem pretty tough, living with parents that aren't really your own. Of course, I'm sure living here with Mom and Dad is working my husband pretty hard as well.
Is David getting pretty close with Mom and Dad now?
Well, I like to think so. They're always cracking jokes with one another, and even when I'm not around, they go out and have some fun. I sort of get the feeling Mom and Dad care more about him than their own daughter at times.
Is that so?
In our case, we have been married now for almost 4 years, so that's probably why he's gotten so used to Mom and Dad now. I'm sure things were as tough as they are for you now back when we first moved in with them.
Well, my husband and his family are all really nice people as well, so I don't feel like they have anything against me at the moment. At least there are no problems that we've been having to deal with between each other.
That's good to hear. Recently, I've really gotten the feeling that David is the real son of Mom and Dad here, and that I'm more like the wife that he's brought into the family.
Well, that's great. Must be nice being so close to one another there.
What's wrong? You're acting like things aren't actually going that well there.
No, that's not what I meant. They're treating me very well, and every day is just as fun as the last.
Really? I hope that's the case, because it seemed like you don't actually think that living there with them.
Things weren't going that well here, I'd be back home with you, all right?
I suppose that's true, and you haven't even come home once yet. But that better mean that things really are going well there, and that you're just not trying to bear with it. Before I forget, I sent you a package a little while back filled with foods, but mainly your blueberries. Have you gotten it yet?
Yes, I did. Thank you for another care package this year. But this year you seem to have put in even more things than last year. Like, there are at least 6 gallon bags full of blueberries in here, where last year you only sent 2.
We were able to harvest a lot of berries this year from all the bushes. So much that I had to give some to the neighbors as well. Must be because of the amount of rain we got earlier in the summer followed by all that sunshine.
Oh, that's probably why there's so much.
Yeah, with that amount of blueberries in there, you should be able to make a large amount of your blueberry wine this year, right? Everyone will love it. I'm hoping you can make enough to last until next Easter.
I've always loved making that wine with the delicious blueberries in Mom and Dad's yards, so I'm really looking forward to this. And I'm thinking this amount will at least get us 6 or 7 bottles worth. Do you think you could talk to my mother-in-law for a second? She has something she wants to say about the blueberries you sent.
That's fine with me.
This must be Leah, right? It's been such a very long time. I think the last time we spoke to one another was at your sister's wedding a while back. And thank you for sending us some of your family's blueberries every year in the mail.
It's been far too long, Jill, and don't worry about it. I made sure to throw some other things in the box as well.
But the blueberries you guys got this year are just amazing. Compared to what we get at the grocery store, these things are just wonderful. Can you please let your mom and dad know how good these are as well for me?
Sure, I'll let them both know.
All of these blueberries you get from the woods behind your house, right?
Yes, we have a couple large patches of those blueberry bushes back there. And because we get so many every year, we have no other choice but to send them to everyone we know.
That is just amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to think about us as well. I felt so bad for not thanking you sooner for this.
Don't worry about it. It wasn't that big of a deal for us. My family doesn't have a need for all those berries, so it was better to give them out than to let them go bad. And since Eliana makes wine with them, we thought this year we send her the most.
Really? Well, that's great to hear. By the way, does this mean you guys might still have some of these blueberries left?
We still do. We really did end up with a large harvest this year, so we have some bagged up and everything in our cooler outside.
Really? Well, that is so wonderful. Well, if you have no use for those ones, do you think you could send us a little bit more? Do you think you could do that for us?
Huh? Are you really okay with us sending you that much? I thought I already sent you more than you guys could eat and use.
Don't worry about that. If it was any other family, I'm sure that'd be enough. But in my house, everyone loves to eat blueberries, and we make all kinds of desserts with them as well. We also have some friends that enjoy your guys' berries, and so we've been wondering if we could get any more this year.
I see. All right. I suppose I can send you guys a little bit more.
I'm sorry to have to ask, but do you think you could send us just as much as you sent last time? 6 of those gallon bags worth?
You really are okay with that much?
Oh, really? We could go for truckloads of these things. But even then, it might not be enough for us. You did harvest a lot this year, so that should be fine, correct?
All right then. I'll get those to you guys as soon as I can.
Oh, thank you so much. And if that ends up not being enough for us, it'd be all right to ask again, right?
Huh? I guess that'd be fine.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I guess I'll be in touch with you again. I'm looking forward to even more berries.
Leah, the next batch of blueberries have arrived. Thank you for getting this to us so soon. You even put in a bit more than last time, huh?
Well, it seemed your mother-in-law really wanted a lot of blueberries. She even made it seem like she wanted to ask me again for more in the future. So that's why I ended up sending that large amount.
Jill can be a bit pushy at times. Sorry about her. But thank you so much for these.
I probably shouldn't be saying this about her, but she seems to be a very pushy person, actually.
I'm really sorry.
No problem. It didn't really bother me. I've dealt with far stronger people, so it didn't bother me. But are you really okay with her being that strong? I'm sure you'll have a lot to deal with processing all those blueberries now.
Well, like she told you, everyone here loves blueberries, so they've been picking at a lot of them. But I guess I'll have a lot of wine to make. I'm even working on it right now.
Is there any extra equipment that you can use there? Maybe Jill is helping you out.
Nope, they don't really have the tools I need, so I only have what I brought. And also, Jill isn't the kind of woman to do these sorts of things.
Really? She's not helping you? There's at least one person there helping you though, right?
It's just me.
What? With that large amount of blueberries? That's going to overwork you.
Well, I've always been the one to make blueberry wine. It's my job. It's a bit harder this year, but I still love making it. So I'm not really complaining.
Yeah, but Jill isn't helping you at all?
Not at all. Today, she left me at home alone to do all this work while she went out again with some friends for coffee. So that's why I'm taking the time to get everything done as quick as I can.
She's not even going to help you make the wine, yet wants more and more blueberries from us? That's a little bit ridiculous of her.
Well, I'm not really that worked up over it. I really enjoy this kind of work. And to me, making wine every year is my responsibility.
Hey, are you sure you're doing okay with everyone in your husband's family?
Why do you ask? Especially after I said everything's fine.
Well, I'm still a little bit worried is all. And seeing that they're not even going to help you with any of the winemaking with that large amount of blueberries. Also, from what I saw of Jill when we last spoke, she seems to be a very pushy and overbearing kind of person. So I really do wonder if you're okay there.
Well, you're right to think that Jill is the kind of person that doesn't hold back, but, well, that's something I kind of like about her. Just know that they're treating me well here. I mean, I'm not going to complain when she's giving me a place to live and let me marry her son.
Okay.
And when it comes to making this wine, I'm always looking forward to everyone letting me know how delicious it is when all my work is done. And I was the one in the first place that could said I'd handle making wine with the berries. We really are doing great over here, so please don't worry.
Well, if you say so.
You really are the type that gets so worked up over nothing. I told you this before. If things weren't going well over here, I'd be coming back home to everyone.
I suppose you did say that. Sorry. Recently, I've heard of some coworkers about how at times the mom will try and pick on their daughter-in-laws for no good reason. That's probably why I'm feeling a little worried right now.
I'm sure there are people struggling with those sorts of problems, but in my case, I'm doing perfectly fine here. But thank you for worrying about me.
It's all right. I'm glad to hear that everything's going well for you. Ah, that's another thing. I just remembered I needed to ask about your family there. Or actually, people around your family's house. Is there someone with the last name Shelton that lives near you guys? Recently, that person has been coming into my office in the middle of the day. But it seems that they're from the same part of town as you guys are.
Huh? Shelton? I'm sorry, but I don't know them. I haven't really gotten around to meeting everyone in this neighborhood yet.
Oh, really?
I just let Jill handle all the relations with the neighbors and such. All I do is keep up with the family. I just make sure that everything within this house is okay, and that's all.
I see.
Well, does that Shelton person know anything about me? Have they said anything about me or about this house?
No, I just spoke with them, and hearing where they lived made me think about your part of town. But we never spoke about your house or anything like that.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
Is there something wrong with this Shelton person?
Nope, I just didn't want you talking about me or the family without me knowing about it. And perhaps if they knew me, I didn't want them saying anything bad about me.
That would never happen. Well, I can understand not wanting someone talking about yourself to some stranger.
Right. You didn't tell them anything about your little sister living near them, right? And that goes for any of your coworkers as well? Don't go off telling them anything about me that you shouldn't be.
I get it.
Sorry. Jill's friends just came over, it seems. I'm gonna have to talk with them now, so I'll see you later.
All right. Well, good luck with all that blueberry wine.
I'll try my best.
Eliana, do you have time to talk a little right now?
I have some time. What's going on?
Well, Eliana, what kind of life are you living over there?
What? Are you back to asking about if Jill is picking on me or not? I told you last time that I'm doing just fine, right? What's gotten into you?
I told you that I know someone that lives in that neighborhood with you, right?
Right, that Shelton person, right? And what does that have to do with me?
Well, that Shelton told me something a bit interesting.
Huh? What was so interesting about what they said?
Produce thief. They said it's become a real problem in their neighborhood.
Oh, is that so? That's the first time I'm hearing of this.
Are you sure? Because there are rumors going around of you guys being thieves. Shelton told me all about this.
Wait, so you have been talking about me with this Shelton. I told you not to bring me up with them.
Well, it seems they already knew about you. They even showed me a picture of us in a family photo. And when he looked at that picture with me, they told me they knew your face and that you're a thief.
Is that what they said? I'm sorry.
Are you actually doing something like that? If Mom and Dad find out about this, it'll kill them. What the hell are you doing, Eliana?
I'm sorry, but that's all my responsibility.
What?
I'm the one that's supposed to go around stealing produce.
There's no way you think it's supposed to be your job, right? What are you talking about?
But I have to do these terrible things.
What do you mean by have to? What's going on with you? Is someone making you go around and steal other people's things? Please tell me everything right now.
Jill is making me do this. She told me that it's my job as a new wife to go out and get food for the family.
So she's behind this? But why would she ask for you to go out and steal all of that food? You should have told her you can't just do something like that.
I know that being a thief is a terrible thing, and I've been telling her for a while now that I don't want to do things like that. But she told me that if I don't do as she says, she'll find a way to make me pay for saying no.
What the hell is wrong with her?
Jill, whenever she feels that I'm not doing my job well enough, she'll put bugs in the food that she makes for me.
What? Bugs?
She'll also talk down to me like I'm some sort of pet of hers. And in the winter, if she's upset with me, she'll have me stand outside and splash ice-cold water on me.
What? She's messed up. There's no way someone sane would be doing that to another person.
Well, Jill isn't sane. I really don't want to continue doing as she says, but I have no other choice.
Why have you been hiding this from me? When I asked if you were doing okay with them, you should have told me that Jill was treating you this way.
Jill scares the crap out of me, and I don't want her to hurt me again. And when it comes to my husband and father-in-law, neither of them seem to care. Really, there's nobody in this house that actually cares about me.
So that's why you've had to stay under the radar. But didn't you say that if things got out of hand, that you come back home to us?
Well, that was just to stop you from worrying about me. If I were actually going to try and run back home to you guys, everyone here would not take that lightly. I don't think I'd even be able to run away from them.
What would they be able to do to you once you're with us?
Jill is a really messed up person, Leah. She wouldn't let things like that go until the problem she has with me is dealt with. And she's not the kind of person that you can ever talk any sense into. If I made it home to you guys, she'd find ways to hurt you all as well.
And so, to stop that from ever happening, you bared all the pain yourself, all the way to the point of becoming a thief. You're an idiot.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for all of this.
You need to get out of that house right now, and then you need to divorce that man.
I want to. I really can't take living this way anymore. Leah, come help me.
I sure will. I have no other choice now.
Jill has asked that I go out to someone's garden again tonight to steal more vegetables, but I really can't do it anymore.
Tonight? Wait, I can use that to my advantage. I think I can start telling people in the neighborhood that it isn't you that's in the wrong, but your mother-in-law, Jill.
How long are you going to be out in that garden for? Hurry up and steal all you can and then get back here. If you keep taking so long, the sun will come up and everyone will see you.
I'm so sorry, Jill, but what do you mean you want me to steal all this for you?
Are you kidding me? Stop messing around and get the job done. I told you earlier that I want the cabbage and carrots out of that person's garden.
But nobody has any cabbage right now in their gardens. It's not even the right season anymore for that.
Well, if you look hard enough, there has to be someone with cabbage left over. Now go find one and get back here. If you can't find one before you step back into this house, I'll make you regret that. Do you want to eat another salad with spiders in it? Or even better, would you like to continue living in the old shed with all those mice?
No, I don't want to.
Then get to it and bring me what I want. And there'd better be the cabbage and carrots that I asked for here when you arrive. You usually get your vegetables mixed up and make all sorts of mistakes.
Well, just like every other time, this time is also going to have some mistakes. I'm sorry. My little sister has always had trouble identifying what kind of things are what, but she did grow up with a family that rarely farm for vegetables themselves.
Huh? Little sister?
That's right. This isn't Eliana that you're talking to. This would be Leah.
What? Leah? Leah? Why?
Good evening, Jill. I'm with my little sister right now. She's a bit busy at the moment, so I decided that I'd be the one to talk with you.
So this hasn't been Eliana talking to me this whole time?
Ever since you started texting her a little bit ago, it's been me you talked with. And now I've been able to learn all about your little secrets.
What are you talking about?
You don't have to start playing an idiot with me. I know about what you've been having my sister do for you. How you have her stealing other people's vegetables from their gardens and fields. And I know that if she doesn't listen to what you say, you put bugs in her food. Things like that.
Oh, come on. That was all a big joke. Why are you acting so serious about all of this? That was just a simple joke between me and her.
That kind of excuse isn't going to roll with me. Maybe you should try another excuse, and maybe make something up that's a bit more believable.
Well, excuse me, but what the heck are you doing? Why are you with Eliana right now anyway?
I've been walking around the house of a person that says they know my sister has been stealing from them. And to make sure that everyone knows who the real thief is, I'm going to show everyone in the neighborhood these texts.
What?
I'm really happy that you chose the perfect time to start talking to Eliana like that. Because of you, I'll be able to explain all this to everyone you've harmed with ease. You'll be the one to blame, and everyone can see that Eliana had no other choice but to help you in your thievery.
It's not like I was threatening her to do it for me.
Didn't I tell you that you have to have way better excuses to get me to believe you? I want everyone that has been harmed by you to stop thinking that it's been my sister that's been wanting to steal from them. I want them to know that it's been you telling her to do all these things.
Ugh, the only one that's done anything illegal has been your sister. I never went out and stole anything from anyone. So why do you think I have to be the one responsible for all of her actions?
Well, it seems that the people that already know about this are blaming you, and they'll make sure to bring it up with other people in the neighborhood as well. And then they'll ask you to come see them, and can decide on whether or not to take you to court and sue you for what you've done.
If they go telling everyone about me, then everyone in the city will soon learn about what's been happening.
It's amazing that all the way out here a rumor like that could spread so fast. I'm sure that once everyone knows it's been you, you'll have a hard time living here.
Could you stop? If something like that happens to me, I'll be in huge trouble. What would I be able to tell my husband and son?
Well, it's not like your husband and son have been out of the loop this whole time, right? Well, perhaps you all should move out of here. It's not like the man that my sister married and expected to protect her did anything for her anyway.
I don't care about that. All I know is that this is all your sister's fault. The person that should be blamed and made to go to court is Eliana. I'm not going to pay for her crimes.
And my sister doesn't plan to pay for those crimes either. And that's why, to prepare for this, she ran away from you all. So right now, the only people in that house are you three.
What the heck? Why does everything have to come back to us? I want you to stop all of this needless crap right now.
Compared to what you've been doing to everyone in this part of town, I'm not causing any needless trouble. And I'm already pissed off knowing that my cute little sister has been forced to do all this stealing for you, or else she has to be hurt by you in other ways.
Well, it's her fault for being the young wife in this family. You should know that it's her fault, right?
Even if you think so, there's been someone here doing far worse things than her. I'm sorry, but my family is not going to let you get away with the things you've done to her. After all, I heard from Eliana that you once told her that if she ever told my family about this, you'd have to deal with us, right? Well, that's not going to happen, because we made sure to be a step ahead of you. So if you really don't want to start acting like an adult and taking responsibility for what you've done, then I'll make sure that you're paying more than a little money to those you stole from. After that, we told the rest of the neighborhood about what had happened, and then from there, Eliana and I went back to my mom and dad's. And then, after a few days, we heard about everyone in the neighborhood going ahead and dealing with Jill and her family. Eliana was aware that the police would come to see her as well about this, and so she prepared for this day to come. But because everyone knew that my sister was being forced to do all that stealing, they didn't hold it against her, and so the police only dealt with Jill and them. And to make sure that the police knew of this, they stated that they didn't want anything to be done with Eliana in the end. I'm sure that they all still blame my sister a little for doing some bad things by following through with what Jill had asked her, but their understanding and care for her is something I'm very grateful for. Once Eliana had left that house, things really went downhill for that family. The whole town got together and started to make sure that they all were aware of the steps that would be taken against them. Of course, Jill and them could not deal with all the pressure from everyone. And so after a day in court, they paid out whatever money they could to those that were victims of Jill. But even after getting the money they all asked for from Jill, they were still not happy with what had happened. And so from then on, Jill and her husband and son never really left their house. It didn't even take too much longer after that for them to finally reach their limit, and soon they were moved out of that house. And since then, we have no idea where they went. Just a day ago, however, Eliana's husband came to her house and tried so hard to apologize to all of us. He even tried his best to tell us that he never knew his mom was doing all these horrible things to Eliana. But even if he didn't notice all this happening to her, that would still mean he must not have cared enough about her to be with her when he got home from work, right? When we asked him that simple question, he had no other excuse to use, and we all came to the conclusion that he needed to divorce her. He reluctantly agreed with us, but through the whole process was crying and sobbing, asking for forgiveness from all of us. Instead, though, we asked that he made sure to give Eliana half of his properties in the divorce, and then we'd be able to forgive him. Currently, Eliana is back home with us still, and is being loved by every single one of us here. When she first got back to us from that awful household, she was very white and seemed so out of it. But just after a week, her color began to return and she opened up even more to everyone. To make sure that she never has to think about all that's happened to her, we plan to take time off to do all sorts of fun things with her and make sure that she has a bunch of new memories to cover up the past. And so for that reason, we're going to start by having everyone go on a family vacation, somewhere warm and sunny.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.